Hello, everyone. Yeah, I got dressed. Let me know that you can hear me, and I'm just going to share a little bit so that we can all be in this together. I got dressed up and put my makeup on, and I'm live because I want to share a few bits of coaching and wisdom with everybody. So let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Whoa, wait a minute. Let's just not do that. But I want to share, so I'm going to go back to my page and then share this a little bit. Let's get a strong mind together, because I'm working with a lot of folks, and the truth is, this is it's kind of an interesting time because we're really being called to be extremely strong. So let me just share this a little bit. I'm going to share there. And I'm going to kill this. There we go. And I'm going to stay on the page there. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of a share. And I really want everybody to, well, create a community here, because I'm going to share a couple of tidbits of goodness. The Positive People Army, and also on some of my pages. Right now, the truth of the matter is that when I'm working with people, I'm noticing that the mind is getting, a bit lazy, because what we tend to do is that when we don't have external stimulation for some people, this becomes like, if the outside world isn't giving me what I need, then I'm going to not give myself what I need, because we have an addiction to the outside world feeding us to be okay. And this is a time in this pandemic where we're having to isolate and having to be on our own, whether in just, your little pod, your family pod, or alone, in the physicality of alone, where your discipline, your inner discipline, has to really shine through, and you have to depend deeply within your sense, your well within yourself, to be grounded and strong and positive. And I mean, I say this: you cannot build a new car from scrap metal, and if your mind is a landfill of scrap metal, you can't build a new car. And the new car is, your thoughts, your thinking. By the way, I dressed up for you all. I put a little fur on, faux, and just zhuzhed it up a little bit, because that makes me feel good. And so that's what I'm doing for me. And what are you doing for you to make your mind strong, to make your mind powerful during this time? Because we're not in it for the short haul, people. We're in it for the long haul. This is the truth. We're in it for the long haul. The journey right now is such that we need to call upon our deep strength, wells of strength within, to get through this. You can do it. You can do it. And I know that it's tempting to bake bread and eat cookies and eat sugar. I certainly did my share of it initially, but it's just not, it's not sustainable. So get on the good program. Get on alkalinizing your body. That's what will make your immune system strong. Lots of greens, lots of good quality eating, lots of breathing and exercising and working your lung muscles. This is what Orly says, together is such a, you always look so together, such a fashionista. Well, darling, I was schlumping just about a minute ago, but I thought, okay, let me just put myself together right now. Let me just get it together and look presentable. And that's okay. And hey, Chris, oh my God, you gained so much. I gained so much weight. Well, babe, get the fuck off the carbs. That's what we've been doing. Like, we've been just like, Chef Kevin, my husband, is a great supporter in that he really, is Mr. Healthy and well and slim and happy. And so he's like making vegetables and good quality protein and, gluten-free pasta, small amounts so he's really supporting us in that way. And I said, we spoke about this, and we sort of had a team meeting, Kevin and I, and said, look it, we gotta, this is the long haul. This is a time where we need to be together on this process, and not tempt each other with crappy food just because we're feeling kind of down. I mean, I was definitely having some grieving the other day, and I was crying. I'm like, when's this going to be over? But then, I got it together, did some meditation and some affirmations and some good quality exercise. And this made me feel just so much better. And so I'm committed to doing this every day. And, oxygenating my body is essential for this time. We're not going to get away. We're not going to get away with, you're going to come out the other end of this and feeling like crap if you didn't treat yourself well. And so I know this is hard, man. This is freaking hard. This is really, really hard. It's so much more tempting to, eat the bread you've baked and eat the cookies you baked and go and get more chocolate and more this and more that, just to feel comforted. And I get it. We can feel comforted. We can take our time, but just remember the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time you are on your pandemic program. 20% of the time you're kind of letting it loose a little bit. And Kara Stewart says, Easter Bunny bringing EMF protection devices this year. I broke up with sugar. Good job. Awesomeness. We all love sugar, but as I said, it can F your mind. It can F with your mind. It can make you moody. Like, I'm doing a lot of therapy with couples, and let's just say there's some high irritability levels and some high intolerance levels and some moodiness, because people are like soothing their pain and their grieving with sugar and alcohol and whatever it is to numb out, drugs, all this stuff. So, I mean, work your addiction programs. I call this pandemic program. Keep your mind strong. This is so essential. And I'm not going to give up on anybody. I'm not giving up on myself. And I walk my talk. I am just as in this shit with all of us. And I'm busy working with people's pain. And I'm, feeling cabin feverish. And I'm thinking, crying periodically, but I'm doing my nails and I'm doing some makeup and I'm getting dressed and I'm going out I'm working out at home. I love, that there's a 90-day free trial with what's it called? The bicycle program. Shoot, if anyone has it, just let me know. It's a 90-day free trial of, what's it called? It's called Peloton. I don't have the bike, but they have classes. They have strength training. They have Pilates. It's 90 days free. Make sure you put it in your calendar to cancel after 90 days. So you're not dinged with the monthly charge. But for these 90 days, you've got classes and yoga and strength training, and you don't need weights or anything. They do it literally just with body weight and high intensity interval training. And it's kicking my ass. Thank you, Kara. It's kicking my ass, which is great. And then we have still open, thankfully, a third floor terrace here in the condo where nobody's on there. So we're walking around and doing some really some high intensity, jumping jacks and push-ups and breathing hard. My ass is hurting me. My glutes are hurting me. I mean, it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. So thank you with the Peloton. Peloton or Peloton? Peloton with an L. Anyways, they have a 90-day trial, and I figured out a way to put it on the TV. We have a smart TV, so we were able to get it up on the big screen. So my living room is now like a Peloton effing studio, for Christ's sake. I'm not saying we need to be perfect. As I said, I'm not perfect. I've been crying. I've had sugar. I've had chocolate. I've had all those things. But it's about waking the F up and going, okay, this is not a short time. This is a long time. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. By the time this is over, we're all going to be brunettes. Unless I get a box and start to consider doing this myself. But I get highlights, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. And my beautiful Rico hairdresser, I just bless his soul, and may he stay safe and well. And my ex-hairdresser, Eduardo, who lives in Nova Scotia, may he stay well and blessed. And I hope all the stylists and the manicurists and the estheticians are able to sustain themselves financially through this time, and everybody who's in the food industry, and anyone who's massage therapists and chiropractors and restaurants. Like, I want to make sure we can't forget them. We need to remember them all, and we need to, somehow make sure that they stay in some sort of business. Anyway, so let me just see here. What else? I wanted to share some affirmations with everybody because honestly, folks, your mind needs to be strong. Strong. As I said, you cannot build a new car with scrap metal, and your brain cannot be scrap metal. It needs to be new metal. It needs to be shiny, gorgeous new metal, and you need to work that shite. You got to work your brain because your brain is rewirable, and it is plastic, and it is not static. You can change your brain, even though you may be feeling like crap and you don't believe one affirmation I'm about to post. You can change your thinking. You can absolutely change your thinking. So I'm just posting these affirmations for you because the truth of the matter is and here it is. Here is the affirmation. And everybody say it together. Let's go. These 7 affirmations. Ready? Go. No matter what I do, say, think, or feel, I have unlimited value. And remember, with affirmations, you might not believe these things, okay? It's not about believing them. It's about aligning yourself with these thoughts, aligning yourself with these thoughts that at the moment may feel foreign. But remember, your brain is plastic and wireable. And if you start to understand that you can create a new neural pathway process in your brain, you can start to believe this stuff. You can start to actually believe this stuff. So let's just go. Number 2, I deserve love, kindness, support, and compassion, even when I make mistakes. So even if you F up, you do deserve all that. And you got to buy into that concept. Here's another really good one. There is nothing wrong with me because I have unlimited value no matter what. Some people are feeling low self-esteem during this time. It's not logical, but they are, because they identify with their work or their activity or their social having social ability as having the social commodity and being a social person as what rises their self-esteem. And so when you don't have it, the self-esteem goes down. No, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you because you have unlimited value no matter what. There is nothing wrong with you because you have unlimited value no matter what. And here's another one. I have a deep well within my being from which I derive my sense of safety and my sense of peacefulness. You have a deep well within your being from which you derive your sense of safety and your sense of peacefulness. Okay? Breathe, breathe. Here's a good one for people that are still living in relationships with different people in their home. Even when I am in relationships with other people, no matter how they behave, I feel a sense of grounding and safety within me. Even when you are in relationships with other people, no matter how they behave, you feel you can work on feeling a sense of grounding and safety within yourself. I don't know if this is all resonating, but I hope it is. Oh, Gary Henry. Hi, Gary. Nice to see you. Blessings back at you. I'm just doing some affirmations here with people because I really, really, really feel like people need to clean up the the minefield that is their brain, and also to really understand that you're in charge of your brain. You're in charge of your brain. So let me get back to this and this. Okay, affirmations. Here's a really good one for all of us. I am now completely free of my childhood impact upon me. I am whole. I am strong. I tap into profound self-compassion no matter what is happening. You are now completely free of your childhood impact upon you. You are whole. You are strong. You tap into profound self-compassion no matter what is happening. Here's a good one. I now trust that people care about me and want only good for me, even when I am a shining bright or when I am feeling vulnerable. I only meet people that exemplify the good that life has to offer. You now, and this is maybe you don't feel this right now, but you can work on feeling this, that you now trust that people care about you, only want the good for you, even when you're shining bright or when you're feeling vulnerable. You only meet people when you get out into the world, and maybe Zoom meet people that exemplify the good that life has to offer. And remember, you matter. You matter. Gary Henry says the battlefield of the mind. Yes, this is a war. And not only is it a war against the virus, it's a war with your own mind. It's a war with your own mind, and you need to make sure that you work on courage. Work on courage in a way that is, and I've posted this one before, but I'm going to show it here. I'm going to take this one out. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is that quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. That makes me cry when I think about that. Because, this is a really rough time for a lot of people. So you need courage. And you need to get the courage from within yourself, from the deep well in your being. Connect with your higher power. Connect with spirituality. Connect with whatever you can. To get a sense of courage within you. And it doesn't have to be a roar. It can be a quiet voice in your mind, in your head saying, I will try again tomorrow. That's so important, okay? And really remember that you're not alone. We are all in this together. We are all in this together. This is so important for you to remember this. Ooh, that made me emotional. And also in conflicts with people in your life, let me just take this one out. You have a technique that you can, instead of fighting, instead of listening to respond, you listen to understand. And you listen to what another person is saying, and you set up some rules of engagement when there is a conflict. You're living in close quarters with people. You need to understand that you're not going to get away. You're not going to go outside. You're not going to put your family at risk. You're not going to do that. You're going to stay home. Stay home. Stay home. And you're going to do this lead-in sentence. I feel an emotion because I think something. So I feel because I think. Okay? I feel hurt because, this is an example, I feel hurt because I think you're rejecting me when you leave a conversation without telling me when you're coming back. And then the other person will respond, oh, so you feel hurt. What I heard is you saying you feel hurt because you think that I am rejecting you because I left a conversation without telling you that I'm coming back. Is that right? And the other person says, yes, that's right. And then the person listening goes, is there more? Yes, I feel angry because I think you deliberately don't take out the garbage to piss me off. Oh, so you feel angry because you think that I deliberately don't take out the garbage to piss you off. Do you understand that I'm giving you a technique for listening to navigate, so that it's not like you're agreeing with the person, but you're having the respect to be present, to listen to the person and to acknowledge their feelings. And then you can switch it around, and then you can say what you feel. Well, I feel, unhappy because, I think you are, whatever it may be. So the dialogue isn't, yeah, but you did this and you did that, and what the fuck, no, you're literally listening to acknowledge and mirror back what you heard, so that the person you are speaking with knows that you heard them and knows that you are listening to them and acknowledging them. And that is very, very powerful. I hope people are hearing me. And these are good techniques, and you can play this video back if you'd like. I want people to understand that we are not, yeah, Gary Henry says, validate what they are saying. Exactly. Don't fight them. It's their feelings. We all have a right to our feelings. You know, you cannot tell people, no, you're not feeling that way. No, you actually you're not the expert of them. They are the expert of them and you're the expert of you. And whatever you're feeling is your feeling state. And you have a right to that feeling state. And you need to be your own champion. You need to be your own advocate. Sorry, I didn't turn that off. You need to be your own advocate in this thing called a relationship, because no one's coming to save you. Let me just turn this off. No one's coming to save you. I say this often in therapy work, and people get a little bit shocked when I say that, but honestly, no one's coming to save you. You got to save yourself. You got to advocate for yourself. You got to work on your own self-acknowledgement, but also give the respect of acknowledging the other person in your life. That is powerful healing for a couple, for a family member, for people that you are in a pod with at home, and that's your group that you're staying home with. And for goodness sake, understand that social distancing is not going out and hanging out with people. Social distancing, and why would you stay? I love this thing, hashtag do it for. You know, why are you staying home? You're not just staying home to protect yourself, but you're staying home to protect others. And there's something about a community generosity and community responsibility that this whole pandemic is instilling in all of us. And why are you staying home? You need to remember that there's a larger motivation, not just yourself. It's also for the older person that you may be in a relationship with, children that are vulnerable, or vulnerable population generally. Let's honor that, okay? Let's honor that, and let's plank the fucking curve. Plank the curve so we can get to the other side of this. And we're doing well, but we need to continue on our journey and continue. No let up, okay? All right, so with that, I'm going to end. But you've got some tools on this video so you can play it back if you'd like. And get that pandemic program going, man. Get that pandemic program on side, okay? And be kind to yourself. And your social capital, your socialization with human beings out there in the physical world does not give you self-esteem. You give yourself self-esteem. You have to dig deep into your soul and build a sense of who you are, and work your mind. You can't build a new car from scrap metal. You can only build it with new metal, and new metal means new thoughts, new ways of thinking. And Gary Henry says, people are actually coming together if you look at it with a different lens. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. People are coming together, and that's so crucial. I hope this was helpful. I'll come at you live again soon. Happy Passover, virtual Passover Zoom I was invited to, Kevin and I. So we might be having some lovely Passover time. And then, of course, I'm half Catholic, half Jewish. I don't practice any of that, but I love the cultural tradition. So we'll do a little bit of a Zoom call with my family on Sunday with some smoked salmon and some bagels. So we're going to do some carbs then. Yay. And just keep the food intake as alkaline as possible. Keep the exercise intake daily if possible. Keep the mind states healthy at all times if possible. Not if possible, it is possible. Keep the mind states healthy. And remember, you're not alone. We're all in this together. All right. Have a good one. Take care, guys.